Hello, I'm Jacob and you're watching the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. Today I want to do a quick introduction to the Battle of the Behemoths. This is about the Essie Hunglis taking on all comers. So that will be the Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works Bullnoser, the Ontario SP53, and I have a wild card that we're holding to the end. Now, what the goal here is to take knives of about the same size, about the same weight, but most importantly, that are designed to be used in the same way and compare them to each other for the end goal in chopping to see which one you want to strap to your belt or throw on your pack. Goats, come on! Come here! I'm out here today with Kimber and the kids, so expect them to be annoying. So first off, we have the Essie Hunglis. What I'm going to talk about with specs are, for the purpose of this testing, the three main things that matter: the overall length, the MSRP, and the weight. So the Essie Hunglis here, and then we're going to give a quick overview of each knife. The Essie Hunglis, all right, overall length 16¼ inches. The weight, they always list the weight wrong. I think at like 24 ounces. It's actually, as I've measured it, about 22 ounces, 21.8 ounces. And the MSRP, well, the price, I should say, not the MSRP. You can find them for about 150 bucks. They come with this sheath, which is great, really. MOLLE compatible, belt compatible, adjustable tension, and secure straps. Great setup. Next up, we have, I was going to talk real quick about the attributes of the blade. The blade is a high saber grind, almost a full flat grind, nice big handle. You have quite a bit of real estate there to grab where you choose. Good edge geometry, fairly thin for a knife of this size. 1095 steel, differential Rowan heat treat. It is the standard by which all other choppers are compared, and it has been for a long time. It doesn't matter if you're talking about $500, $600, $700 choppers, customs. If someone's going to compare it, they're going to compare it to the Essie Hunglis. It set the bar. Goats! Kimber, come here! Kimber! Come here! Don't argue with me! All right, next up, let's see, what are we going to do? The SP53 from Ontario. I don't know how much longer this knife is going to be available because they're kind of axing the Spec Plus series of knives. But on this guy, we have an overall length that I didn't write down for some reason. I believe it just over 15 inches, about an inch shorter than the Essie Hunglis. Your weight is 20.8 ounces. And your MSRP is between 50 and 60 bucks. This is the cheap guy of the competition. Now this actually, I won't go into that. Your blade, you have a lower saber grind, okay? Decent edge thickness, honestly. It's a nice straight edge, came shaving sharp, as the Essie did as well. Big, thick tip. Holy crap, it's basically indestructible. Handle is Kraton. In the past, I've reviewed a lot of knives with this SP handle. I usually don't prefer it without gloves. I think it can create quite a few unnecessary hot spots and tear up your hands, but it's not bad. And for the price, it's incredible. This one has some wobble. You can actually hear it now. And my replacement knife should be coming in next week. So hopefully it's better. I've gotten 2 Ontario knives this week, and both of them have to be warranted. It's a shame, and it's not how it used to be. Next up, the Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works Bullnoser. This is about a 10-year-old design. Some people thought that this might be a newer design based on a couple of other knives. It's not. Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works has been making knives since like 1980. They do an incredible job. They're basically indestructible. So on this guy, we have an overall length. Again, I didn't write it down. It's right above the Essie, I think just over 16¼ inches. weight is 26.9 ounces. So we've got a bit of a weight advantage here. MSRP is $200. And we'll talk about a few other things about this later. It is slightly hollow ground. I do not believe that that's going to affect strength at all. Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works have an incredible reputation for being monstrously tough. Edge thickness is a little bit thicker than some others, but it's convexed. I'd say it's definitely comparable easily to the Ontario, but it's convexed. It performs a little bit better. Came psycho sharp. Freaking, this is an amazing knife. I won't talk about the sheaths until the end of this video. So before we get into our wild card, what I do is I take all of these knives to the table of destruction. I chop each knife in an equally clamped 1.5 foot long 2x4 5 times for every knife. And then every knife that takes, every round that takes the most chops and the least chops gets removed. And then I average the remaining 3 for each blade. And every time I do a different knife first. So I have 4 knives here, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first time, the first knife will go first. The second time, the second knife will go first. The third time, and so on and so forth. You get it. So I'm not using the same knife first every time. I have always had incredibly consistent results when it comes to fatigue and everything else. I have never had fatigue affect the statistics in one of these tests, and I've done this a bunch of times. This is something that I've been building over 4 to 5 years, and I believe that I've really gotten this process down to where I want it. So our wild card. The last 3 knives have a lot in common because they are designed for the exact same thing. So even though the weight and length is a little bit different, they're certainly and easily all within the same use category. This next knife isn't so much. These knives are woods knives. This is an E&E knife. This is a rescue knife. This is a knife that is made for chopping through car doors, windows, for rescuing people's flipping lives, all right? And so this is made by Double Star Blades. This is the Fury Craschetti. Specs here, overall length is 18.25 inches. So it's got about almost a 2-inch advantage over the next closest knife. It is also thicker a bit. It's almost 3/8 of an inch thick. All right, all machined. The edge thickness is a little bit thicker, but not as much as you would expect. S7 tool steel, as tough as it comes. We're gonna find out if this is bush craftable, all right? Even though that's not what the blade is intended for. And man, this thing is a beast. All right, so yeah, overall length, I already told you, 18.25, weight 28 ounces, just a little bit more than the bullnoser. So it's a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, but I think it'll fit in nicely with these other knives because typically and traditionally, rescue knives do not compare well against woods knives in the woods because the edges tend to be too thick. This one having a nice edge thickness, I think will compare well. So what on earth else would you compare this knife to than these other behemoths? I think that this is about as good as you're gonna get for seeing how this knife stacks up in the woods against its competitors, which is very exciting. Now, let me just say real quick before I wrap this up. SE Knives and Mineral Mountain Hatchet Works were excited to throw down. They are always excited for comparisons and honest reviews, and they don't care who I compare their knives to. They stand behind and believe in their products. Double Star, they're in a completely different world, a completely different genre of knives for the most part. And yet, I hit them up like, hey, let's freaking compare this knife. You got one laying around that we can hack on a little bit? They were like, crap, yeah, let's freaking compare this knife. Nothing to hide, all right? Nothing to be afraid of. They believe in their product. Ontario, I can never get hold of them. They won't respond to my Instagram, Facebook, email, anything. they honestly just don't care. And tops, pfft, yeah, right. They don't want to be compared head to head, not in a fair comparison. So, guys, really, when Ontario makes the most affordable product that you're going to get, but when you're looking for knives, seriously, look for companies that stand behind their product and are proud of what they make and the performance of what they make, not just the looks and the sales. I forgot to mention, okay, so this is S7 tool steel, just an insanely tough steel. Not a steel known for the best edge retention or the finest edge, but just insanely tough. MSRP on this guy is about 400 bucks, and I think that what we're gonna find is that I think that this is going to be a knife that law enforcement officers, firefighters, EMS personnel are really going to want to consider having in their kit. And this is the sheath that it comes in. So I had to make this video kind of quick, even though it's not, but I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Very soon, these will be coming to the table of destruction. As soon as I can get that video filmed and edited, I am so excited about it. Do me a favor, guys, share the video, and I'm telling you, like, I can't tell you enough how important I believe it is to support companies who are not just trying to sell knives based on how they look or something. You know, so many companies are like, this knife performs well, but how do we make it look cooler? How are we going to get sales? Okay, so then they put saws on it. They put gut hooks on it, they put bottle openers on it, and they do sell because the average person wants to look at something and see all kinds of details and shapes. I once had another very popular reviewer say that this the SE Hungless didn't perform all that well for him, and I asked him why. I asked him some specific questions. He ended up saying, well, it just looks like a kitchen knife, and I'm not going to deal with that. We're talking about practicality and use here. Where does looks come into the equation? They don't. They only come into the equation for sales. But when you make a knife that is purely performance driven like the SE Hungless, even if it doesn't look all cool with all kinds of gimmicks and bullcrap all over it, it's going to sell well because the people who use it realize it actually freaking works. And that's why every single big chopper from $50 up to $1,000, when people want to know how it performs, they're going to compare it to the SE Hungless. And at the end of the day, if you go to a bushcraft or survival class and someone has a large chopper, chances are 9 out of 10 every single time, whether they're in the jungle or the desert tundra or whatever, if they've got a big chopper in a professional atmosphere in a class, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be an SE Hungless. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. That's part of why I am here, is to separate performance from marketing, to give you the truth on how knives actually perform separate from their gimmicky marketing bullcrap, because I'm tired of being lied to. So please share this video. Please subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs down because that helps my videos get more views for some reason. And let me know what you think in the comments section. I will try to reply to every comment. I usually do on every video on this channel. I hope that you have a blessed day, and I look forward to it. Thank you for watching.